What's going on, guys? K-Pine here, and welcome back. I finally did it. Just got Legend in Season 11 of the GOBattleLeague. It did take longer than I've liked it to, but that just gives us a goal for next season. So my very first season trying to climb the ranks of GBL was in Season 9, where we actually managed to hit Legend during the Halloween Cup. And in Season 10, we fell just short, peaking at around the 2900s. Next up was the Interlude season, and it really helped me a lot because up until then, I only played in the featured specialty cups, as I didn't really have any meta Pokemon built for the Open Great League and was worried I'd tank my elo if I played in it. So the Interlude season allowed me to get the resources I needed and practice in the Great League without the high stakes attached to get me ready for Season 11. And in this video, I'll be showcasing my 5-0 set to push me over that 3000 elo threshold. I actually ended up going 20-5 on the day, climbing around 200 elo and finishing at 3145 by the time Great League rotated out. The funny part is 5-0 was actually the most underwhelming of the 5 sets, but I still wanted to show it to share with you the moment I hit Legend in Season 11 of the GOBattleLeague. I did just make a video on this team, so if you haven't checked out my last video yet, I highly recommend you do, so I'll link it down in the description. Also, let me know how your GBL journey has gone so far and what your goal for this season or next season is. And with that, let's get into the battles. All right, getting to the first match, we have Metacham into Gfisk. Fantastic lead. See what my opponent's gonna swap into, and it's their own Metacham. So in the mirror, we build up to the Psychic. We throw the Psychic to either do some big damage or get their first shield. We get their first shield, and now we're gonna swap into our Talonflame. And we're gonna take the first move because shielding a power-up punch would be a worst case scenario. Metacham loads up on more energy. I was pretty sure this one was only a pup at the time, so I let it go through, and it was another pup. Gonna throw again. I'm gonna build up to the past the Brave Bird and throw the Brave Bird to either guarantee that final shield or take out the Metacham. I may have been able to throw a Flame Charge, then get to another Flame Charge, but I thought the better play was to throw the Brave Bird to actually lower my defense. So the Metacham didn't get any extra farm on me if I wasn't able to reach that second Flame Charge. And in this game, looks like my opponent lagged out. So fortunate for me in that case. But all I really needed to do was just shield their Power Up Punch Psychic, throw their boosted Psychic, and then throw a Psychic of my own to take out their Metacham. And with one shield, Walrein would most likely be able to clean up, I hope it would most likely be able to clean up that match against a Tropius and a Gfisk by Earthquakes and Icicle Spears. DD lead, we know what we do in this matchup. We stay in, we spam off these Ice Punches, we take their Thunderbolts, no problem. And then we come in with our Talonflame afterwards. Opponent's loading up on tons of energy, throws their first Thunderbolt on CMP with my second Ice Punch. Bring them down below half, we let this Thunderbolt go through. Next Thunderbolt coming on in. Just like in the last video, we get to the third Ice Punch with 1 HP. Some more drip damage on this Deoxys, and then we bring in our Talonflame. My opponent didn't throw there, they stored energy. They stored a Psycho Boost and swapped out, so I've got to be mindful that they leave it for later. Thankfully, I do get the Flame Charge bait on this Talonflame, and I can live an Icicle Spear from this health range, but I also want to preserve some health. I throw another Incinerate. Another Icicle Spear comes through, and I'm gonna throw in one more. Hopefully, I'd be able to make it to my last Flame Charge, but I'm not sure if I will. Plus, if the DD comes in right away, it would just be able to take out my Talonflame with its Psycho Boost. But they actually bring in their Registeel, and this isn't too good for me because they have that energy advantage and they're able to beat Walrein in the one shield, but my opponent does me a huge favor right here. They swap in their Deoxys to throw off a Psycho Boost, maybe to catch a move. I'm not sure. If they tried to catch a move, that's a little unfortunate, but that just gives me a win con because they didn't catch a move. Where now I'm able to get that EQ off, and then this Icicle Spear, my opponent has to save a shield for my Talonflame in the back, because I don't think Lock-Ons will be able to take it out in time. So because they switched out, it gave me a win con, but I'm pretty sure that if they just stayed in with their Registeel, they would have had that game. Next match, Froslass Lead. And this caught me a little bit off guard because I don't know about you, but I've only seen like a Froslass like once or twice in the Open Great League. So we just treat this like any other ghost type on the lead, swap into our Walrein. They make a nice bait on their Avalanche. If I no-shielded, that would have been detrimental, but because I did, that's fantastic bait for them. They do correctly call my Earthquake. And now they're going to load up. They're going to throw on a CMP tie. Good counting by my opponent. This one is a Shadow Ball. I let it go. We do just hang on, and I'm able to get off this Earthquake to either get their final shield, which I do. They're going to load up some more energy, swap into a Toxicroak to try and snipe, and we just get this Icicle Spear off in time to do some big damage on the Toxicroak. At this point, we have 1 shield versus their 0. I'm going to come in with my Metacham because it really doesn't want to take a Shadow Ball from the Froslass, so I'm just going to sort of use it as a damage sponge right here. Opponent gets some more stutter lag. That's okay. We're able to counter down and throw off this Psychic. Not sure if this was a CMP tie. If it was a CMP tie, then they probably should have won it, because Froslass has a decently high attack, but even if they did win it, would have been fine. Just save my shield for the Talonflame and would have easily been able to close off this back end with the Ariados in the back, of which is another Pokemon you don't see too often in the Open Great League. We swap in at the very end right here, a little cheeky catch to finish it off with the Talonflame. Good game to my opponent. Next match, Metacham into Scrafty, another fantastic lead. My opponent's going to swap into Nidoqueen. We get some mutual lag. The game unfreezes. We get to this Ice Punch to either do some big damage on the Nidoqueen or get their first shield. Does some big damage, and now I'm going to instantly swap into my Walrein. This should only be a Poison Fang, which is totally fine. And from here, I can commit to the farm down. I will survive this next Poison Fang. I'm not going to commit a shield on my Walrein because the Scrafty is just going to come back into the Walrein, and I want to give it as little energy as possible, which happens to be perfect because they're only going to get 1 counter's worth of energy, and I still get an Icicle Spear off a chip. But they actually end up bringing in Skarmory, and this is just an RPS match because I can bring in my Talonflame. They realize, and they concede the match. And heading into what I believe is the final match, another DD lead. We know how we play this one out by now. Ice Punch coming through. Does a little bit of chip damage. Thunderbolt in return. Yeah, this team is very strong though. I highly recommend it if you have access to all 3 of these Pokemon. Just give it a shot. There's a learning curve like there is with every single team that you play with, but the more you use it, the better you get at it, and soon enough, you'll know it like the back of your hand. Thunderbolt coming through. Again, reached 3rd. Ice Punch with 1 HP. We bring in our Talonflame, and this time, 1 Incinerate does kill the Deoxys. Like I said, it's IV, as I said in the last video, it's IV dependent on their Deoxys, whether your Talonflame's able to take it out or not. They bring in a Walrein, and this is looking like the same team as last time with a Registeel in the back. We'll see what happens though. Do get the Flame Charge bait again, which is awesome. And since this one is a non-Shadow Walrein, I'm not as threatened by these Icicle Spears. Oh, and a little side note, A Psycho Boost, if you run this team and you come across a DD in the lead, a Psycho Boost on your Talonflame does more than an Icicle Spear from a non-Shadow Walrein, but less than an Icicle Spear from a Shadow Walrein. So it's just a call you have to make as to which one you're gonna predict in the back. But again, knockdown in the back on this one, and another alignment-based win. So that's our 5-0 for the set. What's our ELO gonna be at? 3,044, securing and clinching that legend spot. We're gonna go take a look at the B pose, or as a lot of people like to call it, the Karate Kid pose. You know we're equipping that and gonna be running that all the way until next season's legend, where hopefully we can get the pose in season 12 as well. And I've got a little bit at the end of this video of Pikachu Libre. Unfortunately, this one's above 500 CP, so we can't use it in the little cup, but it's still very nice to have. Pikachu Libre doing a little bit of a high jump kick at us right there. And take a look at the IVs. Not the best, but still pretty decent IVs. And we are appropriately gonna name this Season 11 Legend and store that away. And that's the end of the video. So thank you guys so much for watching. I really do appreciate you. If you enjoyed it, please drop a like, subscribe, and comment down below. I'd love to hear what you have to say. And with that, I'll catch you in the next one.